O.G. Rose, and today we are announcing the release of Volume 2 of The True Isn't the Rational. The Map is Indestructible. Problems of Internally Consistent Systems. This book is following Volume 1, titled The Conflict of Mind, although the conflict of mind is not necessary for understanding the map is indestructible. This volume is going to be talking about how we really have not thought about thinking, and that we need to thinking anew, which has spent most of human history in the business of coherence creation, the creation of maps, and trying to think maps to be like the territory, as opposed to thinking that the map isn't the territory and dwelling in that Gödel Point. From Alfred Korbowski, who is a centerpiece for this work. His book, Science and Sanity, is extraordinary. And we are also going to talk a lot on Kurt Gödel, the great Zizek, and others, to make the case that we have wasted thinking in the same way that we have wasted drive, and we really haven't employed thinking to give us the fruit that it could if we used it in the proper way. But using it properly requires facing an anxiety of residing and placing our subjectivity in the formation of our worldviews precisely where correspondence and coherence prove to be distinct, or where true and rational prove to be distinct. Papers that you can find in the collection, I like to call books like this an essay book, and what I mean by that is there are different essays, but it's not that they're random essays. They're all building to make cases of principles that you can then link together for a larger arching notion that is important for thinking to take seriously today. There are 9 sections in the book: map naturing, map vanishing, map consistency, map situating, map totalizing, map proliferation, map drive, and then 2 reconstruction. And reconstructing A is Volume 3 of The True Isn't the Rational. I had a conversation with Gödel last on Philosophy Portal that goes into details on this book, and it gives just a wonderful... I'm in Gödel's debt for the review that you can find on his Substack, Philosophy Portal, about the book, and I'm indebted to Gödel for the opportunity to talk about the book. I highly suggest the conversation in his Substack to get a flavor of how the book develops. And we focus on each one of these sections and go into greater detail. Essays you will find in the collection. Theoretical awareness. We are now knowers of how we think, which changes what we think. Monotheorism. Every theory naturally becomes a theory of everything. Scripted. How we emergently direct one another, liberating and limiting. Self-delusion. The tordness of evidence and the paradox of judgment. Can we assess specs without judging logs? That would bring together and close Part 1, Map Naturing. And every section will end with a coda. And the coda tries to think the papers of the last section together while simultaneously thinking future sections and making way for the thought that will be found there. Part 2, Map Ceiling, starts with death as the event horizon of reason. If X will destroy us all, if we don't do Y, we must rationally do Y. The Truth is Veiled in Blood, which explores missing axioms by Samuel Barnes and the temptation to use the spilling of blood to avoid Gödel. The Game Theory on Why Many Conversations Are Bad, and Democracy Likely Doomed. The sooner we employ dominant strategies in conversation, the sooner we are safe and mediocre. Coda 2, it then follows that, and then we go into Part 3, Map Vanishing. Starts with defining evidence. Research doesn't provide the definitions of the terms being researched. Ideologically lucky. Then the next paper on description. To discuss the world without the operations of thought describes a one-sided world. The phenomenology of true ignorance. Not knowing something can feel like knowing it. The heart-mind dialectic and the phenomenology of views. The heart might be in the brain more than the chest, or else the brain is in the chest with the mind. Certainty, deterrence, and ideology preservation. Do we decide we are certain about that which we couldn't afford to be false? And this will be considering Wittgenstein's uncertainty a lot. Next paper, intention. Even if considering intention is necessary, is the category of good intention repetitive and dangerous? Next paper, incentives to problem solve. To solve a problem can be to fail to prevent one, but it can feel more accomplished. Then we have the third coda. Then we get into map consistency, which is going to start with fact views, networks, situation creation, and map mazes. There is no such thing as the fact that isn't in a network of facts, nor a point that isn't situated. Then the Map Is Indestructible, which is titled after the essay collection, on Korbowski's insanity, Gödel's inconsistency, Barfield's rainbow, Leibniz's monad, Zizek's Hegelian ideology, and Pynchon's mad love. We'll then discuss why does Anselm's ontological argument haunt us. We must kneel to know, and then we can be stuck. Then the paper, The Problems of Internally Consistent Systems. Coherence is not correspondence, and our age is one of multiplying coherence. We will then have the fourth coda, followed by part 5, Map Situating, where you can find the essay, which bears the name of the entire trilogy, The True Isn't the Rational, at the root of our situation. We then have coda 5, then part 6, Map Totalization, the most rational and suboptimal of all possible worlds. The possible with the impossible is stuck in Kafka's Little Fable, and here we discuss Benjamin Fontaine. Followed by coda 6, then part 7, Map Proliferation, Anxiety and Schrodinger's Conceivability Structures. What can be known is that which is less likely to need consideration, as we must know. Then followed by On the C Word and Pandora's Rationality, Iago Lurk's Rationality is Unbound, and Who Are We to Do Nothing? Then we have Desire's Masterpiece, The C Word and the Subject by Hunter Coates, and How Deception Mirrors Absolute Knowing, The Pitch and Risk, Us, Odifia, The Conflict of Mind, and Spreading Byron or Spreading Childhood as a Question. Then we have part 8, Map Drive, which is the coda 7. Then part 9, which into reconstruction, critical thinking. We critically think when we critique how thinking manifests, which requires otherness. Then we have a conclusive overview, and then we have 2 supplements. The first, Meaningful Maps, Global Brain Singularity and Real Speculations, which is going into the work of Gödel last. Then we have the second supplement, Limited Reason is More Powerful Than Unlimited Reason, which is going to consider James Wigley. And again, you can find the book on Amazon. All purchases and reviews are very much appreciated. And for more by O.G. Rose, please check it out. Check out ogrose.com, Twitter, Anchor, Instagram, so on and so forth. And thank you so much for your time.